Hello dear, a very warm welcome to you to English Needs channel. This channel is providing you very important videos for the preparation of examination for PUC students. In this video, I am going to give you a very important grammar topic, that is reporting a conversation. Most of the students make mistakes while doing this. While evaluating the papers, I have seen only 5% of the students get out of out. Only 5%. That is because you do not know how to approach, how to do this, what are the steps you have to follow, that you don't do it, or it has not been taught to you properly. Today I am going to teach you very systematically how to approach, how to change the direct speech into indirect speech. So to begin with, I would like to give you a picture here. This picture has to be kept in your mind. This is very crucial. For all the types of sentences, most of the students use only that. He told that. He asked that. This is wrong. You can't use it. Now you follow this. If your sentence ends in a full stop, then it could be either a statement or an imperative sentence. Or very simple to say, the sentence that ends in full stop, which begins with a subject, then you have to bring in that. If it begins with a verb, then you have to bring in to before the verb. And if your sentence is an interrogative sentence, that is ending in a question mark, then you have again two choices. One that begins with an auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verbs means am, is, are, was, were, have, has, had, may, might, can, could, shall, should, will, would, must and ought to, including do, does, did. If your sentence begins with any of these, you have to bring in if or whether. And if your sentence begins with a WH pronoun like what, where, when, how, who, whom, whose, how long, how far, then you don't have to bring in any word here. You have to keep the WH pronoun as it is. This step, that means whatever you remember this comes as a second step in all the 6 steps what we are going to use. Second one, just there I will mention bring in. Bring in, it means bring in that, to, if or nothing. This you have to remember. Okay. Now let us see what are those 6 steps. The first step is to complete the incomplete sentence. Second step is to bring in whatever I have told you now. Third one is to change the question. Means you cannot keep the interrogative sentences as it is. You can't do that. You have got to change the interrogative sentence into its simple form. That is, it should be made a statement. I will tell you how to make this later. And the fourth one is to change the tense of the verb. That is, sentence has to be changed from present to past. If already past is given, it is better to make past perfect tense. This change you have to make, and wherever you find auxiliary verb in a sentence, you change that. If the auxiliary verb is not present, only main verb is there, then you change the main verb into its past. The fifth step is to change all the pronouns related to I, we and you. What are those related to I? My, me, mine, myself. For we, our, ours, us, ourselves. And for you, your, yours, yours and yourself. If you have the pronouns like he, she, it, they will not change. They will remain as they are. Last but not the least, the sixth step is to change the words related to time and place. When we refer times like now, now will become then, today will become that day, tomorrow will become the next day, yesterday will become the previous day or the day before, ago will change it into before. So like this you have to change the words related to time. And the next one is the words related to the place. That means here will become there, this will become that, these will become those. Like this you have to change the words. If you follow all these steps, definitely I am telling there is no reason for any error. You will not make any mistake. 5 out of 5 is guaranteed for you. Now I am going to take few examples for the demonstration, and then I will give you some examples for your practice. Okay, now let me give you the clarity on what is step 1. Sometimes a sentence may not be complete in itself. So in that case we have to rewrite and make it complete. Let us see how it is done. This sentence is complete in itself, but see the second sentence, it is not complete. It should be I do know or simply I know. Therefore, rewrite it as I know. Route them out, have they gone? Both sentences are complete in themselves. See the next sentence. No, indeed. This is incomplete. Then how to make it complete? You see here. It should be the answer to the question, have they gone? So it should be they have not gone. So cut no and indeed, because indeed suggests only emphasis. Therefore that also should be removed. Are you speaking to me, Senora? Here remove Senora because it is an address. Yes, to you. Here it is incomplete. So we'll have to rewrite this. Now see the question. Are you speaking to me? I am speaking to you. This should be the answer. So rewrite this sentence and cut the previous portion. Gonzalo said, what do I care about birds? This sentence is complete. Lara said, but I do. This is incomplete. So we have to cut both and rewrite this as I care about the birds. I hope you have got the point now. Another two examples I'll show you. Watch this sentence very carefully. See, it ends in full stop, whereas it begins with why. That means this is not a question. Therefore, why is an extra one. It is not part of this sentence. Therefore, it should be cut. Now your sentence begins with you said. Watch these sentences. The second sentence is incomplete. It should be rewritten as why shouldn't I use my handkerchief as a shoe brush? Hope it is clear to you now. Normally, the words in the beginning of a sentence like yes, no, alright, surely, certainly, of course, but, and, so, these things should be removed. If they are in the beginning of the sentence, normally they are not part of the sentence. Only rewrite the sentence into complete sentence. Now the explanation about the second step, bring in. This sentence is a simple sentence ending in full stop and beginning with the subject. So you have to bring in that here. This sentence is also a simple sentence ending in full stop and beginning with a subject. Therefore, you have to bring in that here. Now watch the change here. It ends in full stop but begins with a verb. Therefore, to is brought in here. This also is an imperative sentence beginning with a verb. Therefore, bring in to before the verb give. This sentence is an imperative sentence, but it is a negative sentence. Do not. So you have to bring in not to here, not just to. This sentence is an interrogative sentence beginning with an auxiliary verb here. So you have to bring in if here. This sentence also is a question beginning with an auxiliary verb do. Therefore, you have to use if here. This sentence is a question but beginning with a pronoun what. Therefore, you don't need to bring in anything here. Just keep what as it is in its place. The third step, change the questions into statements. This interrogative sentence can be changed into a statement by interchanging the positions of the first two words, that is verb and a subject. So finally you have to write, you can read without any glasses. In this question also you have to interchange the place of will and you. So the statement would be, you will go to your bench. Now the next sentence is going to be different. Please watch this very carefully. This is a sentence that begins with do. So wherever you get do, does or did, simply cut them. Simply remove them so that it will become a statement like this. Lara said, you sneeze. This is applicable to the questions that begin with do, does or did only. It is simply you hunt. Now, the case of questions beginning with WH pronoun. No much change is there. Here, what right is one unit. So, keep it as it is. Interchange have and you. You have to criticize my actions. Now, watch this carefully. This sentence is incomplete. First, we will change this sentence because we must have one auxiliary verb after why. So, we have introduced should here. And after the auxiliary verb, we should have a subject. Therefore, I is introduced here. Now, keep why as it is and interchange should and I. Now, the sentence has become why I should tell him. This is not a question, it is a simple sentence. Now, here is another type of sentence having do in it. Here you need to remove this do. That's all. So, your statement would be what you wish. So, the questions beginning with WH pronoun, if they have do, does or did, simply remove them. So, you have now learned how to change a question into a statement. This must be done before you change a direct speech into indirect speech. Fourth step, change the tense of the verb. Present tense to past tense, and if past tense is already given, make it past perfect or keep past as it is. You need to have a little judgment when you do this. In this sentence, can sit is the verb. So here we need to change only can into could, not sit into sat. In this sentence, the auxiliary verb are will change it into were. Laura said, I thought you were taking out telescope. In this sentence, thought is already past verb and were taking also is past. So they will change it into past and past continuous tense. So thought will become had thought, and were taking will become had been taking. Step 5. Change the pronouns related to I, we and you. Pronouns related to I are my, me, mine, myself. Pronouns related to we are our, ours, us, ourselves. Pronouns related to you are your, yours, yourself or yourselves. If these pronouns occur in a sentence, they have to be changed according to the gender. Let me clarify this with some examples. In this sentence, these pronouns will change. You refers to Lara, so it is she. Me refers to Gonzalo, so it is him. In this sentence, your refers to Gonzalo, male, therefore it is his eyesight. In this sentence, your refers to Lara, so it is her eyesight. Sixth and the last step, words related to time and place. In this sentence, tonight is that word. This will change into that night. Here in this sentence, tomorrow will change into the next day. Now that I have explained you all the 6 steps very neatly, systematically with examples. As this video is already lengthy, I cannot include all the examples here. It will become too very lengthy. Therefore, I have made this into 2 parts. Examples will be taken up in the second part of the video, and after watching these 2 videos, definitely you will say that you have really learnt how to convert direct into indirect speech or reporting the conversation, and in the examination you will get 5 out of 5 or whatever the marks that it is there for your examination. Now, in order to go to the next video, just touch here this black strip, and this will take you to the second part, and watch that completely. And after that, if you are satisfied, if you have really learnt well, please comment so that it inspires me to do better.